we have the first tournament round of the year at Royal Ascot Golf Club. So this is for the Jamega Tour. Going to do the usual thing that we did last year. So every single shot filmed, and then I'm going to commentate over the top. First round, see what we can do. Hopefully post a good one. Yes, we're going to show you every single shot with this round, and I'm going to commentate over the top as we usually do. I'm going to be doing this for the rest of the season on the Jamega Tour. Really looking forward to playing the rest of the events. And although I played the Prime yesterday, this is the first proper tournament round back for a long time, especially filmed as well. So I found a way of filming with my cameraman where he stands just a bit further away. Now it sort of like takes the attention away from what I'm doing. When I got a camera following me around, it sort of like attracts a bit of attention and maybe takes you away from your game slightly. So I found this is like a good way of doing it where I can really focus on my game. So starting off, first hole is 155 yards. I actually got off to a really good start. So hit a 9-iron. This is slightly downwind. It is pretty calm on the day and fairly warm. Hit a nice 9-iron in there to around about 7-8 foot. Gave myself a decent look for birdie, which had just missed. Didn't really trust the read there. It's like breaking off of the... Thought it was going to break off the right, and well, it just didn't break quite as much as I thought. So second hole, this is a big dog leg left to right par 5. Hit driver over the corner. Left myself further than I wanted, around 200 yards, but had a bit of a flyer. It was down any breeze that there was, so hit an 8-iron, got it pin high. So second hole of the day, had this for eagle. This was like a 3% slope, swinging about 1.5 foot off the left edge, and yeah, pretty good start. 2 under through 2 holes. Third hole is a par 4, 360 yards. If you watched the Prime video yesterday, I got this one up there greenside bunker. This one, sorry, got it up there greenside, not in the bunker. This was in the bunker, quite a long way back, and this is like up against the lip and with loads of sand. So tried to catch this fairly thin from 100 yards, but just caught a bit of sand and left myself. So like this yardage, which this is like an area that I struggled with massively this year, and you can see me trying to rehearse what I'm trying to do, because obviously I worked on my swing last night and got it in a better place, but when you have like that 50-yard pitch, it's like the in-between. Do you try to put some of those moves in? I did, and it's sort of hitting the right pitch shot, fairly close. This one didn't quite break as much as I thought it was going to. Walked off of a bogey. Downhill, par 4, around 300 yards, but out of bounds all up the left. And I think a lot of people that went for this ended up hitting it out of bounds. I think this is probably the play. So just 6-iron, left myself 100 yards, around about 100 yards, and just played this out to the right, hoping for a little bounce off the bank with a 55-degree wedge. Didn't quite come back in. And I left myself quite a tricky 2-putt, because this is like, you can't really see it from here just because we're a bit low down, but this is fairly downhill, breaking off the right. I gave it quite a good run, to be fair. Almost hold it, but left myself 3 foot. And the goal of the day was not to leave myself too many 3-footers, just because a couple of the greens, they had a little bit of problems with a couple of the greens, and leaving yourself 3 foot when the greens are not quite, or some of the greens weren't quite as smooth as they usually are. I'm sure they've sorted it out in the next couple of weeks. It's not really what you want to do. So this is the par 5, and thanks to my 2-iron head flying down the range last night, I had driver, and then I had 4-iron. So the gap in my bag was driver, then 4-iron. I have a rescue club, but I've never used it in competition, so I wasn't going to use it, without giving it a proper try. But that probably will go in the bag soon, as well as getting that 2-iron replaced. So on the par 5, left myself just like a big, you can see how uphill that is, left myself a big 40-footer up the hill, and then left it short and had Like, it's not what you want to leave yourself. This is like 10 foot off the right, downhill. Luckily enough, knocked it in for par to stay 1 under. This is about 180 yards, par 3. Hit a terrible tee shot. Luckily enough, that actually came in off of the bank and into the bunker. But really, this is like an absolute dead miss. Like, this is the area that I was trying not to hit it in, essentially. With that pin position and the way that the green like slopes away from you, like, you cannot miss it right there, and just made a bad swing. But anyway, took my medicine, made sure I got it out onto the green, and tried to just tap this up there and leave myself an easy 2-putt, but ended up leaving myself a 3-foot downhiller that broke from like a cup outside the right, so a bit stupid again. This par 4, you can miss it left because there's like a environmental area which you get a free drop. So obviously I've gone and missed it right in the tree, giving myself like luckily enough, like just about had a swing. I forgot steep on this. 120 yards, 55 degree, and got it up there on the green. And this is quite a quick putt down the hill from the right. But all in all, walking away with par after that tee shot is not too bad at all. So level for the day after dropping a few. This was playing around 150 yards, and I just hit a little 9-iron in there. Probably not the side to hit it. This was like straight down the hill, pretty much straight. I mean, this is right in the jaws, but a fairly solid par. And then this is a tough par 4 when you only have 4-iron or driver. So this is 430 yards, I think, up the hill. And I mean, this is a 2-iron, and I'll leave myself, you know, like a wedge. But hitting a 4-iron, left myself 175 yards up the hill into a little breeze. So I hit a 7-iron in. This went a bit blurry, so we lost some of the content there. But hit it into a decent spot. Now this part you can't see. This is like a 3% slope off the right, and it gets really, really quick. This is definitely the best putt I hit all day. This was like 2 foot outside the right edge and really fast, and this just does it no justice. So happy to get back to 1 under through 9 holes. And then this is fairly basic par 4. You can hit driver at this, but it's long rough left and out of bounds right. And the miss I've got going with my driver is like a right miss at the moment, so it just didn't make sense. Hit 4-iron off the tee, not the best 4-iron, left myself a wedge in from 160, which I knocked just to the right of the green. Knocked it up there to about 5 foot, and then pretty solid with the putt. This is uphill, 170 yards, 8-iron, playing about 175. And yeah, it's a bit annoying. I only just missed this, just left of the flag. A little kick left, and then I've got this really shitty lie. It was like grass was growing into, and it was a bit bare, so it was like sat down at the bottom. So instead of getting a wedge at it, I just thought I'd get the putter at it, hoping the grass snags it a bit, but it just like shot through that rough, and then I left myself sort of like 7 foot, which just rolled past the edge. So back to level. This is downhill, dog leg, left to right. This is just a bit shite off the tee. Hoping to get it an extra 20 down there, but just didn't strike that very well. 4-iron. Had 100, I think I had about 180 yards. Hitting 9-iron because it's a bit of a flyer. It's quite a big bank I'm chipping into there, just letting it feed down the slope. It's not bad for my short game, that, to be fair. And had a 6 foot, and this was big because I didn't want to drop another shot to get to the over par figures at that point. So that was a decent up and down. This is 180. So that back flag left a 7-iron out right, left a few shots out right. That's definitely like the miss at the moment, and had this shot, which was, you know, this is not the hardest shot. It's sat up, but it is quite heavy, and I've just hit this like, when it's sat right up on top of grass, you make sure that you don't get the blade too far under it, but I've ended up catching that a tiny bit thin, and then just wanted to make 4 after that. So back to 1. Cameraman's got attacked by a wasp there, I think. So pulled that driver up out left, had 170. This is like a gap wedge down the wind and a big flyer, and that's flown further than I thought it did, to be fair. It's flown about 150 and then just releasing because there's no spin on that at all. And then had this, which is really disappointing. This is just stupid. So downhill, thought it was going to be right to left, wasn't that quick, didn't really move much off the right, and then I left myself this, and to be fair, that putt just went a strange way. So to 2, bit disappointing. Look at that athleticism, Jesus. Par 5, just knocked my tee shot to here, and this is another par 5 where it sort of takes driver out your hand just because it tightens up and there's hazard and OB. Hit an awful second shot, was a bit undecisive where the wind was, but left myself about 70 yards, so a little 60 degree, just nobble it on the front, technical term that, and putt for birdie. So back to 1. Now here we go. This was a disappointing finish. So 16, it's like you can't see where the tee shot is. In fact, you can sort of. So you're hitting over a massive row of trees, which finishes at like 240 yards off the tee. So you've got to hit a high bomb. I leaked it out right into the edge of that hazard, chipped it to here, knocked it out into the middle, and now I'm trying to make up and down for bogey. So I've got 100 yards, 55 degree. Decent wedge. And gave myself a look. So this was, I think this is about 2.5% slope off the right, so this is moving quite a bit. It's just died in front of the hole for double. So like, I don't know, that was frustrating at the time, just because I sort of had a decent, like an okay round going, bearing in mind it's been a long time. It's just a bit disappointing to get a bogey there. I mean, I probably should have hit like a 4 and off the tee and just had a long approach in, but bearing in mind that my miss was a right on the day. But anyway, par 3, 170-ish, sitting 8 iron onto the green. Had a look for birdie. Hit an alright putt. And then 18 is another par 5 at Royal Ascot, where it just takes driver out your hand again. So it's like a 280 carry if you want to hit driver, but then again it's like thick rough left, out of bounds right, and then more thick rough if you make it over the out of bounds. So it's just one of them. If you're like properly confident with driver on the day, go ahead and hit driver, but I wasn't, so it's just 5 iron, and I had to hit this under the tree a bit, 4 iron. Left myself about 120. So this is a gap wedge. Cameraman's thinking I'm going at the pin here, but no, just out to the left a bit, and then had putt for birdie, which I overread by about 3 foot. But anyway, tapped it in for par, and yeah, to the outro. Today's round, all in all, pretty happy with it. I mean, 3 over par, not the best score to finish with, but it's obviously 1 under going out, so fairly solid, and then just a few like short game mistakes, and then a wayward drive on 16, which was a shame. But first tournament round, obviously being filmed, all of that stuff just adds a bit of pressure, so not too bad, something to build on. Got round 2 tomorrow. Unfortunately won't be able to get that filmed, but I'm going to do a recap and talk about tomorrow's round, whatever it is. Probably going to have to get to 1 under par to get in the money, so going to have to shoot like a 4 under round tomorrow, but we'll see how it goes. But the main thing is just got to learn from it and continue to put the practice in. Obviously it was a lot better than the Pro-Am round because I got way off track and went a bit wayward with swing mechanics. So let's So yeah, next video is going to be round 2, talking about round 2, and then we will go from there. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. More of this stuff coming up, and we'll see you soon, guys.